Hello everyone, welcome to our Thursday night Facebook Live. I'm having an absolute blast tonight. I just jumped off of my cooking class Facebook Live in my Love and Trust Your Guts program Facebook group. We had so much fun. We made chocolate pucks, we made black bean burgers, and you should smell my house right now. Those black bean burgers are cooking and I can't wait to eat them after. So we're gonna dive in tonight. We're talking about a really important topic, and I just know that you guys are all wondering what the heck, what is with this low FODMAP diet? Should I be on it? What the heck is it? I'm hearing conflicting information. It was working, or maybe it's not working, or I don't know which direction to go. My goodness, I've gotten so many messages since posting that we were going to do this topic tonight. And so I hope that we get all your questions answered, and I'm quite certain that this is going to give you some clarity. And if it doesn't, please message me. I want to hear from you guys. I'm here to support you guys. I want to hear from you. So please let me know if you still got questions, because I'm right here. I've got your back. I know exactly how this feels. I have been there too, struggling with IBS. Hey Sandy, welcome. So excited to see you guys here. I see Marjo and Melanie. If you guys are just tuning in, say hello in the comments below. I don't always get to see who's popping online, so let me know who's watching. So we're going to dive right in here and talk about this low FODMAP diet. Is it really helping you, or is it harming you? And I suspect that the information that we're going to talk to you about tonight is probably going to surprise you, maybe shock you a little bit, but I'm sure that it's also going to be like the light bulb goes on, like, oh, okay, like I get it now. I get it. So here we go. What the heck is low FODMAP? Hey Paula, what the heck is low FODMAP? So FODMAP stands for fermentable oligosaccharides, disaccharides, monosaccharides, and polyols. What the heck is that? These are saccharides, okay? They are short-chained carbohydrates that typically can be hard to digest. And when they aren't digested well, they tend to ferment in the gut. And not the good kind of fermentation, guys. What happens when these foods ferment in the gut is it creates a gas buildup, okay? Now that gas buildup has to go somewhere. It's either gonna go at the back end. Okay, we've experienced those embarrassing moments of tooting our way through a date, right? Let me know in the comments if you have been there, because I know I have been there, okay? Or it creates bloating, all right? The other thing that you might be experiencing is that gas buildup could be pushing the ileocecal valve open and creating acid, allowing acid to splash up on the esophagus, giving you that acid reflux sensation. It doesn't feel good, right? It hurts. It might even be waking you up in the middle of the night. So you probably have experienced those foods fermenting in your gut. So that's interesting, right? Let's talk about, you know, this is the concept behind low FODMAP. So with low FODMAP, you want to be eating foods that are low in these saccharides, okay? Low in oligosaccharides, monosaccharides, disaccharides, and polyols, okay? But here's the thing. We got to weigh the pros and cons here, friends, because there's some information that's been missing around this conversation. So first things first, what are the good things about low FODMAP? Well, first of all, we're obviously eliminating foods that can be hard to digest, and I say can be hard to digest, okay, I say that again, and it typically promotes eating good, healthy, whole food. So like, hey, this is good. It's not telling you to go eat, you know, Big Macs and French fries and Dorito chips, and so this must be good, right? All right, so the other good thing about low FODMAP is that studies have shown that when people follow a low FODMAP diet, they typically feel better, okay? Some of their symptoms subside. So, hey, this is good too, right? But this is the part of the conversation that isn't being had. And this is the part of the conversation that you probably felt the way I feel, and I'm going to explain what that situation was in a second. But there was like missing information, like critical pieces of information that were missing that left me stuck between diarrhea and constipation and bloating and gas and moody as hell, like put on my cranky pants almost daily, brain fog, anxiety. Let me know in the comments if you're experiencing any of this, because you are not alone. Okay, so what happened for me personally was I was trying to fix my gut, and I kept hearing about all these diets, and so I kept following them, and they were restrictive and they were super hard to stick to. And if my schedule changed and I found myself out and away from, you know, my safe foods that were, you know, diet approved, then I found that I was having to break the plan sometimes. And so it was not only hard to follow, but even when I was following really strictly to the plan, it was like something was missing because my gut kept getting worse. Okay? And even though there were moments where it started to get a little bit better, it just felt like there was critical pieces of information missing. And so this is it. I'm going to share those pieces of information, like the things that were missing that kept me spinning my wheels. And I'm sharing this with you tonight because I don't want you to have to take the hard way like I did. I don't want you to be 3, 6, 9, a year, months down the road, still trying to follow a strict diet plan that isn't meant for your body and is leaving you stuck in your symptoms. And then I don't want it to lead to the point where you start to lose the faith and you start thinking like, maybe this is normal. Maybe I'm meant to feel like this. Maybe it's because I'm getting older, right? Maybe I'm not going to be able to get rid of this. Maybe I just need to settle. No, hell no. Hell no. All right, so we're gonna dive in here, but I'm just gonna read Jax's message here. Have had IBS symptoms for several weeks now, constipation, bloating, pain. I feel grateful that there are the more discrete symptoms. Been low FODMAP for like 2 weeks and have seen some progress, but I keep messing up and not being careful enough. Okay, great point, Jax. Like, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Do we really think that it's meant to be this hard? Right? Do we really think that we have to stick to this like rigid plan forevermore in order to feel good? I'm going to answer those questions tonight, and I'm going to draw a picture. I got to say, I'm quite the artist. Not actually, but I'm going to break this down for you guys, Jax included, and I want you to follow along. Please follow along to the end, because this is going to really help you understand why it may or may not be working. And it's not that the low FODMAP might not be for you. It may or may not. We're going to explore that. But either way, even if the low FODMAP is helping you in that your symptoms are reducing, it's still not fixing your gut. Hard truth, guys. It's not fixing your gut. It's a coping mechanism. It's managing the symptom. Okay? What we're talking about, what my job is to teach you how to fix your gut so this shit stops. Right? So that the constipation, the diarrhea, the bloating, the gas, the brain fog, the moodiness, all that stuff stops once and for all. Okay, so if you want it to stop once and for all, let me know in the comments below. I want you to say, yes, yes, me, that's me. I want it to stop once and for all. And then I want you to hang on to the end here and hang out in this group, because that's what we're doing here, is we're stopping this once and for all. We're not managing the symptoms in this group. Wrong group if you're looking to just patch it, okay? So here's the thing. Here is the thing with low FODMAP. Here are the cons, okay? There's good stuff about it, but there's also cons, just like anything, okay? It's very restrictive. Jax just said it. Like, good luck sticking to that forevermore. It's extremely restrictive. Heck yes, Paula says. Awesome. Are you the only one, Paula? Where are all your other friends? Where is everyone else in the group? We got a bunch of other people watching. Who else is done with feeling this way and wants to fix it once and for all? It's okay if you're scared, and it's okay if you feel lost and you feel like you've tried so many things, you've spent thousands of dollars on supplements and practitioners, and you've been in different groups and everyone's telling you different stuff. I get it. I totally get it. But don't lose the faith, okay? I will always be that crazy ass chick on the sidelines that believes it's possible for you. So come with me if you want to make this happen. Yes, now you guys are talking to me. Great. So yes, I want to get rid of these symptoms. Absolutely. And it's possible. It's possible. I'm going to show you what you need to do in order to do that tonight. Okay, so back to the cons. It's very restrictive, not only in what you're eating, but the quantity that you're eating. Do you want to be weighing everything you put in your mouth? I don't. I don't got time for that shit. What happens when you're in a restaurant? Are you going to be measuring out like 60 grams of broccoli? Fuck no. Pardon my French, but no. Okay, that is not realistic. Do you want to know what is stressful? That is stressful. Do you want to know what hurts your gut? Stress, right? Again, guys, it's my job to be honest with you, and I'm showing up with the full truth tonight because I've seen so many people in this group feeling lost and trying so many different things, and they're not progressing. And so that's why I'm like, we've got to do this. We got to set the record straight tonight, right? We're gonna dive in deep tonight, okay? So no, it doesn't have to be that hard, all right? It's not sustainable for that exact reason, okay? The other thing is it's not getting to the root. We're not getting to the root by managing the symptom up top. And I'm going to explain why low FODMAP is not addressing the root cause. Basically, again, the premise of it is these foods tend to be hard to digest. No one's asked why are they hard to digest. I'm going to explain why they're hard to digest, okay? But no one has really explored why are they hard to digest. So they just say this group of food is hard to digest. So we just need to eliminate them forevermore. Okay, good luck with that, right? So you just eliminate all those foods. Well, that's great, but we still didn't get to the root reason as to why you're struggling to break these foods down. Okay, it's not just about the structure of the food. They're going to talk to you about, well, you know, these foods have protective qualities that make it hard to digest and blah, blah, blah. It's much bigger than that, guys. It's much bigger than that. Do we really believe that our bodies aren't designed to make this, like, this body work well and feel well? Do we really believe that? Because I don't want to believe that. I want to believe that it's possible for us to feel great, okay? The other big thing is that it's not personalized, right? What happens if you are sensitive to a low FODMAP approved food? I'm going to give you an example. I had a client of mine, and when he came to see me, he was dead set that he needed to follow a low FODMAP diet. And he was probably my most strict client I've ever been with. He literally measured everything, he followed everything to a T, and with that, he never went out. He literally worked from home, stayed at home, he never went out. No social life. Okay, but he followed that low FODMAP diet, and yes, some of his digestive symptoms felt better, but it still didn't completely go away, and the second he stepped off of low FODMAP, he was a hot mess. So I finally convinced him we need to do food sensitivity testing. When we did food sensitivity testing, it was incredible. Most of the foods that he was eating that were low FODMAP approved, he was actually sensitive to. Well, isn't that interesting? We started to change his diet and customize it to his specific needs, and everything changed for him. His symptoms finally went away, and he was able to go out and be social. He was able to not live such a strict, restrictive, stressful life, and he changed his relationship with his food, okay? So again, guys, I'm not saying that low FODMAP is bad. Okay? Because yes, it can be helpful, and when we need something to start with, it's a great place to start, but it's not going to take you to the finish line. All right? So there's a much deeper rooted imbalance happening within your body that is creating these symptoms and these diagnoses. So, for example, IBS, Crohn's, colitis, arthritis, bursitis, diverticulitis, whatever itis, whatever diagnosis you want to talk about out there, these are all surface things with underlying root imbalances, okay? Our job, my job, is to help you understand these messages coming from your bottom. We call them symptoms, but I like to call them messages, because when your body's farting away at the dinner table, it's rather embarrassing. That's a good way to get your attention, eh? To say, I'm not feeling great, body. My body's not feeling great. I need some help down here. I'm not getting your attention, so I'm gonna give you some gas. How do you like me now? Oh, you didn't get that? Well, how about some diarrhea? Maybe that'll get your attention, right? So imagine your body is this like spunky little personality down there trying to get your attention with these little messages, AKA symptoms, okay? To say that, hey, there's an imbalance. Now, I understand the frustration that comes with trying to speak body language, right? Trying to speak symptoms. What the heck do they mean? Like, what do you really want? Okay, you embarrassed me, I farted my way through my date, now I'm all red and I'm flush, and you know, the person probably never wants to talk to me again. So like, what do you really want, body? Can't you just tell me in English, right? Has anyone felt this way? So let's shift our perspective. These are beautiful messages coming from your body. And again, it's my job to help you understand what those messages are. So when you talk about symptoms, I see a message that says, hey, these are some imbalances, and we're going to dive into that right now. So Marjo said, you should have heard us after we ate lentil soup. I love lentil soup. You want to know why? Because I have bomb and poops the next day. Right? And maybe you be tootin'. I'm gonna explain why you're tootin' so much with lentils, okay? But don't be afraid of these messages coming from the body. Don't be afraid of them. We need to respond to them. If we try to mask them or just manage them, then we're not going to progress, okay? So let's talk about what the heck is going on in my gut. Let's talk about it. I'm gonna draw this picture because, again, I'm a pretty fine artist, so I hope you're ready. You're lucky this isn't on paper. I'd sign it for you all. You know, when I become famous, you can all like say, oh, remember when? Okay, so here we go, guys. I love drawing this picture out for my clients because one of the #1 things that people tell me afterward is like, oh my gosh, I finally get it. That makes so much sense. So please let me know in the comments if you have any questions or if this makes sense or not at all, okay? So here is what is actually going on in your gut. Fine so far, eh? That's your gut, okay? So this is your gut, and inside your gut you should have food particles. Hopefully y'all are eating, okay? The other thing you're gonna have in your gut is digestive enzymes. Has anyone heard of digestive enzymes before? Let me know in the comments below. So these digestive enzymes, the way I like to look at them, they're like Pac-Men, okay? And these Pac-Men go through and they chew up and break down your food particles, okay? So they're gonna go like little Pac-Men, and they're gonna go and eat these food particles and break them down into smaller micronutrients, okay? This is what we call your vitamins and minerals. And we want them to be broken down because, again, we want those vitamins and minerals so that your body can absorb the nutrients and feel great, okay? That's a simple way of putting it. The problem becomes when those don't break down. We're going to talk about that. What else should be in your gut is good bacteria, right? I'm a pretty fine artist, I know. Okay, so you've got good bacteria happening in your gut, hopefully, right? Hopefully we've got enough of the good guys happening in there. So between the good bacteria and your digestive enzymes, these guys work as like bouncers at the door to keep bad bacteria out, okay? And your enzymes help to keep the gut acidic, again, which also helps to keep bad bacteria out. So here is le problème. Stress. Has anyone felt stressed before? Check. Done. We're all done right there. We've all been there, okay? We've all experienced stress. How about antibiotics? Has anyone been on antibiotics before? Sometimes it's needed. There's no shame in that, okay? Sometimes it's needed. So if you've been on antibiotics, check. If you're not drinking enough water, you're dehydrated, or your body is not recognizing water, so even if you're drinking it, but you're peeing really frequently, or you're still finding yourself really thirsty and you're remaining dehydrated, okay? If you've traveled, if you've been around toxins, all of these things, if you're aging, done, inevitable, all of these things, they're not your fault, okay? This is just general wear and tear on the body, okay? Sandy saying that she lost me. If you guys can hear me, can you just let me know in the comments below? I just want to make sure it's not my connection. Okay, so if you guys can hear me, let me know in the comments. Sandy, it might be your internet connection. So Gretchen's asking, why wouldn't your body recognize water? Really great question. Okay, glad you're back, Sandy. Okay, really great question. There's a couple of reasons why your body can't respond to water. One of the most common things that I find is that we're deficient in salt, believe it or not, okay? The best way that I like to describe this, let me just put this down here. The best way that I like to describe this is if you were to have a detox salt bath, okay? If you were to have a detox salt bath, I have people tell me all the time, oh, I love taking salt baths and I love how it detoxes my body. Most people are actually doing it wrong. In order for that salt bath to actually detox and draw toxins out of the body, you need to get the salt, or the water, saltier than you are. It's a little bit of science, but that salt is what draws the water, draws the toxins out of the body. Okay? It's the same thing when we want to absorb water. If we don't have enough happening in the body, enough minerals in the body to stay hydrated, then the water just goes right through us. The body's not actually able to absorb it. So, really important thing here, please don't use table salt. Definitely don't use iodinized salt. It's terrible garbage. Don't eat it, okay? It's not good for you. Please use like a pink Himalayan salt or a good quality sea salt. These salts are super rich in minerals. Not only do they have healthy sodium that allows your body to, again, draw in that water, but they have other minerals including iodine and potassium that allow your body to balance hydration, okay? Balance water intake within the body. Does that make sense? We had a lot of people coming in here. I'm just gonna see. Okay, Gretchen says, I was told by my doctor and nutritionist that food sensitivity testing is not at all accurate. You get false positives and false negatives in food, so they said no to the test and told me it was better to start eliminating food individually on top of FODMAP, like suspect milk, go off dairy, etc. Okay, that's a really big topic, and I'm just going to keep it short and say that I do disagree. I agree but disagree. Yes, there can be you know, false positives, false negatives, but that is the importance of knowing how to read those types of tests. Okay, there's several reasons why certain foods would come up, and again, that's the importance of knowing how to interpret those results. Guesswork is dangerous work. I would rather do a test than guess my way through elimination. And the reason is I've seen time and time again, when your body is so inflamed and perhaps you're so bunged up with constipation or you've been shitting Niagara Falls, okay? When your body is so inflamed and reactive with symptoms, it's not able to properly communicate to say like, yeah, love that food, or don't like that food. And when you feel like shit all the time, how are you to know what was the food and what was maybe stress or what was another underlying imbalance? So this is the problem with guesswork and the problem with elimination diets, because elimination diets in particular, I find they take a ton of time. Again, they're super restrictive. And then how do we know the body is in a state that it's able to properly communicate how it feels about something? And what if the symptom is so subtle that you don't actually pick up on it? And the last thing is you can have a reaction to a food up to 48 hours after eating it. So how do you know if you're having a reaction today? How do you know what food it was that you ate in the last 2 days? How do you know which one you're reacting to? So I'll leave it at that. If you have any questions, Gretchen, just shoot me a private message or message in the group, and happy to answer any questions around that. Okay, awesome. Everyone can hear me. Okay. You're a great artist. Thanks, Sandy. That means a lot to me because you are a beautiful artist. And yeah, so thanks. Okay, guys, so let's continue here. So again, quick review. You've got food particles. You've got digestive enzymes, PAC-MEN. They also help to keep the gut acidic, bouncers at the door to keep the bad bacteria out. And you've got your good bacteria or your probiotics, okay? And these are also bouncers at the door, keeping the bad guys out. Pretty cool, eh? All right. So as I said, stress, dehydration, antibiotics, toxins, aging, boom, you're done. Right there. We've had so much exposure. It's like wear and tear on your car, okay? These things stress out your body and they deplete your digestive enzymes. Bye-bye. And your good bacteria. Holy smokes, that's a problem. Okay? 2 things. If your enzymes are depleted, remember these guys, if your enzymes are depleted and they're not breaking down these food particles, guess what happens, friends? It doesn't matter if it's a fermentable oligosaccharide, monosaccharide, disaccharide, and or polyol. It doesn't matter. If your enzymes are depleted and these food particles are not being broken down, the same darn thing happens. Those foods will ferment in your gut, creating a gas buildup. You're gonna feel like you're 9 months pregnant. You're gonna, I was gonna say poop your way, you may, but you're gonna fart your way through the dinner table. You'll be burping. You're gonna even maybe have acid reflux. You're gonna be uncomfortable, okay? So it really doesn't matter if it's a low FODMAP or high FODMAP. This is possible whether, you know, whether it's low FODMAP approved or not, okay? There's a deeper underlying imbalance, okay? Makes sense? Makes sense. One of the reasons why you could be following low FODMAP and it's not working for you, okay? So if those enzymes are depleted, food particles are not being broken down properly. And what happens is they begin to build up on the gut lining. Now, your gut lining is a muscle, okay? And it's like these tight junctions. It's a tight muscle. But as food particles begin rubbing up against that gut lining, it creates small tears in the gut lining, okay? We got small holes in the gut lining, and this is what we call leaky gut. Has anyone heard of leaky gut before? Let me know in the comments below. Leaky gut, holes in gut lining, not fun, all right? If we were to just prick your finger and look at your blood underneath a microscope, here's what we would see. Hopefully well-hydrated cells, but in between, we would see all these tiny food particles and toxins floating through the blood system. I'm pretty sure that's not a good thing, right? Because food particles can't be digested in the blood system. So what happens is eventually the body turns on that food particle and goes, gluten or dairy, I can't digest you here. What are you doing here? You're now invading, and it turns on that food and says, you're an invader, I need to attack. This is one of the ways that food sensitivities can come into fruition, okay? Also why it's important that you don't eat the same foods every day. Now, the other problem with these food particles and toxins landing in the blood system is they have to go somewhere. So they go into your joints. Think arthritis. Again, I'm not saying this is the only cause for arthritis or food sensitivities. This is one of the many factors that studies have shown are linking to these conditions. Leaky gut, okay? IBS, Crohn's, colitis, arthritis, all these things, leaky gut is definitely present. But the other thing, what if they land in your arteries? Think heart issues. Well, hey now, that's not good. What if they're landing in your brain? Brain fog. Memory issues. Fascinating, right? It's amazing when we get a bit of a visual going on here. It's like, okay, maybe this makes sense. Now, here's the other problem. Still, we have not enough enzymes happening, an underactive stomach happening in the gut, okay? So again, not acidic enough to keep the bad bacteria out, not enough good bacteria to keep the bad bacteria out. So bad bacteria come in. They come in, they repopulate, they leave their waste and toxins behind, thanks for nothing, and they leave you feeling terrible, okay? These are some of the underlying causes that are happening within your gut. So when you say, Alyssa, I'm constipated and my fiber is on point, that's great. Fiber is important. It's one of the many things that need to be addressed. But what about all this? Okay? What about all this? Because studies are showing that each of these things are really linked, and so you can't really have an underactive stomach or not enough good bacteria, but not have an overgrowth of bad bacteria. Like if your defense system is down, it's down. If the doors are open for bad bacteria to come in, they're coming in, right? So it's not really a matter of, you know, food is important, but it's not going to fix your gut. Eating healthy isn't going to fix your gut, guys. You guys are going to be so frustrated if you're trying to just do this through food. Food is super important. I'm not saying go eat a Big Mac. Food is super important. And so I'm not saying again that FODMAP is bad, but it ain't going to fix your gut because this is going on. Does this make sense to everyone? I'm going to go back and read some messages here. Okay. Ew, yeah, not a good visual, food in blood. You betcha, Jax. Okay, Gretchen says, how would one know they had leaky gut? Great question. So there's a couple of different blood tests that can be run in order to test that. One of the markers is zonulin. So you can have zonulin tested through blood, and that can be an indicator of leaky gut. Leaky gut can actually be detected through live blood cell analysis. It can also be detected through food sensitivity testing. So yes, there are ways that you can test that. But again, studies are showing that with these types of diagnosis or conditions, typically leaky gut is present. It's not really a matter of if you have it, it's just let's get to work at fixing it. So Marjo says, we have leaky gut, but we are getting so much help from you and feeling so much better. Thank you guys. Love you guys to pieces. You guys are doing the work, and so that's why you're reaping the benefits. And so excited you guys both just reported that Marjo and Melanie, you're both losing weight, which is an awesome side effect of fixing your gut if that's something you want. Sandy says, makes sense. Gretchen says, got it. Scheduled for my daughter to get food sensitivity testing. Cool. Excellent. Keep me posted. Okay, so, and again, guys, let's just clarify. I've talked a lot about this, different toolboxes, right? Like if you go to your medical doctor and ask for food sensitivity testing, he's going to tell you you're off your rocker. This is something that you need to tap into the holistic world for. I don't even think your doctor would be aware of zonulin. They may or may not, depending on how up to date they are. Nutrition is also not their jam. So they're not trained in it, right? So it's like going to an Italian restaurant trying to order Chinese, right? Don't come to me and ask about your medications, not my toolbox. Don't go to your doctor and ask for, you know, food sensitivity testing or, you know, root causes. They're in the business of symptom management. That's their toolbox, right? So both toolboxes are needed. We need to bring both together, but that's why you're feeling like you're getting conflicting information. So, okay, so you see here now there's multiple issues going on here, right? So not even a probiotic is going to fix this on its own. Probiotics, are they important? Yes. Food, is it important? Yes. Fiber? Yes. But it's not going to fix it on its own. You need to get the system, a proven system put together, okay, customized to you so that we can make sure that we are addressing all of the imbalances. And in my experience, here's what I find. People come to me, they've tried it all and they're doing great things, but they're missing steps in their protocol. They have got gaps in their protocol and they're not addressing the full picture. And that's what's leaving them stuck. So again, you can put good bacteria in here, looks wonderful, but you still have an overgrowth of bad bacteria, you still got leaky gut, and you still have an underactive stomach potentially. I obviously can't diagnose over here, but studies are showing me that this is very often the case. Okay, Sandy says, yes, I totally now understand that there is lots going on that needs to be fit together. I finally get it. Amazing. So glad that this is helpful, Sandy. So let me just put it to you this way, guys. And I'm going to ask you, this summer, do you plan on doing an oil change on your car? Can y'all just put hands up in the comments below? Who likes doing oil changes on their car? Who likes to make sure they have a running car? Who likes to prevent their car from breaking down on the side of the road? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know in the comments. All right. Jack says, I think in the podcast with Sarah, you said you could do probiotics with the FODMAP, but how would you be able to tell which is causing which effect? I understand that all these tools have to work together to heal the gut overall, but shouldn't there be a way to see exactly which tool has which effect? Okay, so Jack's great question, and so based on studies, what we know is certain tools, as you said, have certain effects, okay? They have certain benefits and they're going to help you in different ways. And so it's not so much about trying to figure out like what is this tool doing, it's about making sure that we're bringing the whole team together, if that makes sense, okay? So if we have let's talk about probiotics for a second. So what role do they play? Well, we know that probiotics are going to help you with a plethora of different things. From studies have shown that they help to digest your foods. They help to make sure that you balance your stool so you're not constipated or experiencing diarrhea. They help to support your immune system. They support your mood. Okay, they keep bad bacteria out. So there's many different functions that a probiotic will give you, where it's challenging to determine. It's not like I have a one-size-fits-all answer to say probiotics are going to do this for you, because they're going to help in different ways for different people. So you might be deficient in a specific strain of probiotic or bacteria that someone else may not be, and so that probiotic might be serving you in a slightly different way than another person, okay? Is this making sense? Is this answering your question? What's, again, most important is that we bring the whole team together, and think of it this way. If we have all these different, tools, tool 1, tool 2, tool 3, as an example, okay? Well, let's say we're looking at your deficiency. Do you know what? I'm just realizing these words are going to show up backwards for you guys, but anyways, tool 1, okay? Let's say it's a probiotic, okay? You might be, you might have this much probiotic. You might be deficient in probiotics and you only have about that much, but you might have more enzymes happening in your stomach, okay? And in this tool, you might have only a little bit over here, okay? So it's not whether or not you need all these tools, we need to get them all up to here, let's say, okay? It's just that each of them are at different levels. We have more to fill here and here than we do here. So it's hard for me to say like, oh, if you take a probiotic, it's gonna fix all of these issues, because a probiotic and an enzyme are gonna benefit both, they're both gonna help you with digestion, okay? So again, it just sort of depends on your deficiencies. This is kind of a vague answer because it's unique for every single person. I hope that answers that. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, everyone is saying they're doing maintenance on their car. Excellent. How would you know you were deficient in a certain strain? Testing, stool testing. You can do stool testing. Certain bioenergetic practitioners can test you for that, depending on practitioners in your area. Jack says, so basically it's okay to start incorporating all the tools, probiotics and fiber all at once, and then just with time I'll be able to see which foods I'm sensitive, if any at all. Yeah, I mean, that's a good place to start, but there's definitely a way to go about it. There's a bit of a pecking order in order to fix these things. So reach out if you've got any more questions or need some support with that, but that's a good place to start. So yes, leaky gut. Okay, so back on track here. Everyone's agreed. We're doing maintenance on our gut, or on our car. We're doing maintenance on our car this summer, right? Everyone's doing an oil change on the car, which is great. So here's the thing. You obviously aren't going to miss your oil change on your car. We know that it needs to be every 3 months or 5,000 kilometers, depending on the make and model, okay? But you wouldn't miss an oil change. And if you did, over time, it's going to end up in an engine rebuild. So the way you need to look at your gut is it's like the foundation of your car or the foundation of your house. But you've spent your whole life getting to where you are, perhaps having done no maintenance on your gut, okay? And so we've come all this way, we've gotten to this point, you've had traumas, you've had exciting times, maybe you've, been on roller coasters and had exhilarating experiences. You might have had sad days, bad days, happy days. You might have had operations, you might have, you've had all these different experiences that are unique to you. And then on top of that, you have genes and genetics behind your individual body, right? And so to think that you've come all this way, depending on your age, it's been 30, 40, 50, 60 years of this without any maintenance on the gut, to think that taking just a probiotic is going to fix this, or just adding more fiber or just a low FODMAP is going to fix this is probably setting yourself up for failure, right? Probably not the best expectations to have on these particular tools, because what's going to happen is you're going to become really disappointed, right? So the way I want you to look at this is we need to maintain our gut the way we do our car. Now, I'll give you another example. You would never say, I'm just gonna throw some more gas in my car and not worry about the oil filter, the tires. I'm just gonna lop off the door while I'm at it because it's creaking, AKA your gallbladder, right? Just gonna lop that out, okay? And I'm not gonna worry about windshield washer fluid. Who needs air filters? What do they do anyways? Oh, and that little plastic rubber thing that's hanging on the bottom of your car that seems to be rattling, just tear that off too. What does that heat shield do anyways, right? But I'm just gonna stick some more gas in it and that'll fix the noise, right? So that's what we're doing by taking this approach. Like, I'm just gonna put more food in there. I'm just gonna follow a low FODMAP diet. I'm just going to, put good quality fuel in my car. Important, please don't put diesel in your gas tank, right? Important, but what about all the other parts that make your body run? What about all those other parts? we've got to address all the parts here, guys. So I really hope that this was helpful. And always remember that whatever symptom you're experiencing, it's a message coming from your body. It's a surface thing. We need to get to the root, to understanding exactly what's going on underneath. And that root is either going to be an emotion, okay, yes, because your emotion and stress and all those things contribute. It's going to be a deficiency or a food sensitivity or something there's something happening underneath here. And that's what we need to get addressing. So is the low FODMAP harmful? No, if you're following a low FODMAP diet, I commend you because it's hard as hell. And yes, it's great because it helps you to pick good quality foods. But what can be harmful is not addressing the underlying causes. And so if we're staying up at the surface with just putting, new gas in the car, but we're not addressing the fact that you need a new engine belt, or I don't even know if that's a thing, you need a new, you need a tune-up, okay? You need new sparks and plugs or something. Then that's going to continue underneath creating bigger issues. And then eventually you get to a point where I hear it. People say to me, all of the sudden, this happened to me. All of the sudden, I couldn't leave the toilet. I couldn't stop the diarrhea. And nothing happens all of a sudden, guys. So please, please, let's get to the root cause. Continue eating your healthy food, but don't stop there. Don't stop there. So what I want to do for you guys, because so many of you guys have been posting in the group and private messaging me with so many questions, feeling lost, desperately wanting relief from their symptoms, what I'm going to be doing is offering you guys a free Love Your Guts call. Okay, it's free. We're going to jump on the phone together. We're going to talk about what's going on for you, what you've tried, what's working, what's not, what might be missing, and then how we can help you, okay? So if you feel like you need some more direction, if you're feeling like you need support or some clarity, and we want to really dive into what we talked about tonight with a bit more understanding as it pertains to you and your individual body, we gotta talk about your individual body, guys, because there's no one size fits all. Then reach out, please reach out. I want you to private message me. You can just click on my profile and message me, or you can email me at info@soulfoodnutritionista.com and just ask for help. Okay, it's a free call, guys, no pressure. It's a way that we can really help support you along this journey to fixing your gut. I definitely know how it feels. I have been there myself, and one of the things that I wish I had was a community. I wish that I had support. I wish that I knew that I wasn't alone. I wish that I knew that what I was experiencing wasn't normal. It was common. A lot of people were experiencing it, but it wasn't normal. There was actually something that I could do about it. And so I want to help you guys take the easy road. I want you to know that it's possible for you, and please, please don't lose the faith. Just tap into this group and ask for support. If you guys have any topics that you want me to cover, let me know in the comments below, because we're jumping back on here weekly for these Facebook Lives, and I really want to help support you guys. So we'll talk to you guys soon. Gretchen's just saying, haven't studies shown a strong positive result for people using low FODMAP diet? Yeah, as I was saying at the beginning, Gretchen, studies have shown that low FODMAP can be helpful in reducing symptoms. So again, it's like saying that, I think we talked about this, if you have a really rough road, okay, if you've got a road in your town that is got big potholes and everything, and it's like a main road, you can drive around it and take another road, okay? You can just avoid it, but it's not actually addressing the issue. So it's the same thing with low FODMAP. So you can just avoid those foods, but the underlying issue is what we talked about tonight. So yes, of course it's going to help because you've just avoided the foods that tend to be irritating, but there can still be other foods that are creating issues for you. Okay, Marjo says those burgers must be done by now. You betcha, I can smell them, and I'm hoping they're not burnt. Kristen says, mine said the exact same things. Awesome. Gretchen, gotcha. I couldn't get on at first. I'm with you now. No problem. Jump back. The replay is going to be available here for you guys. Again, if you need support, you know how to reach me. I'm here. This is what I'm here for. All right? You don't have to do it the hard way. We'll talk to you guys next week. Have a great weekend. Bye.